my move, we've talked about this many times. I know we'll do a follow-up, but just so everyone knows, the vase is in Florida. It made it there successfully. So it's funny, I am moving into a new community in Florida, and I have cousins there, but that's pretty much it. I do have some family members there. So I'm moving into a community that's usually is on a street. We're a cul-de-sac. This community is just this cul-de-sac. And my partner, he got an email the other day and he said, "Oh, you might like this." And I said, "Oh, why would I like this?" He says, "In November, so-and-so is having a luncheon." I'm like, okay, it's somebody on our street. Why would I like this? Oh, it's a book club, and I am an avid reader. And I was like, oh, okay. And I had to think for a moment because now I'm in a new community, I'm in a new state. I've left all my friends. So now I'm in the process of having to, or not, make new friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of have mixed feelings on it. I'm going to be honest.
Really?
I
think it's like kindergarten again. It's like, ooh, a whole bunch of new people. Let's see what you're about.
Yeah. So maybe this is more the introvert side of me that I find that exhausting.
Yeah.
Because, well, no, let me take that back for a second. I do find it exhausting. The old Michelle would find it overwhelmingly exhausting because I would tailor my personality to the people in the room, that people pleasing part of me.
Right. So energetically, you now have to take all this on just to get out the door and start talking to these people.
Right. And I'm not like, we were down there a couple of weeks ago because our the movers came in, and Peter knows them a little bit more because he spent more time down there because of his mom. And I walked out and he went over to say hi, and I mumbled to him, "Oh, I guess I need to go be sociable." That was exactly what I felt. And this woman was wonderful. She was nice and friendly, and she's a walker, and I can see building a friendship and stuff. But there's part of me that finds it like, am I too old for this? I know I said that word. And then I thought, no, I am not. This is where you are staying comfortable in building your friendships. And you need to be uncomfortable. And I know there's different layers of friendships. I think sometimes people take friendships as, oh, everybody and anybody else is going to know all of my business and this and this and this and this and this and that. And I'm very guarded that way. And these people can be friends and acquaintances and all of that. And I do not have to give them my life history. So there is part of me that's excited because I forgot what the book is too. It's not a book I would read or know more about it. I will get to know people, and they have like Friday happy hours at the pool, Sunday morning coffees. See, you guys are saying, "Oh, that's awesome," and I'm like, oh, what if I don't feel like it?
Don't you think it's exciting to meet some new people with your wisdom that you have now of how to engage with people and how to put up boundaries if need be, and how to go, your personality is a little too much for me, and so I can back down, where you've learned those skills. Like when you met friends when we were young, it was just like, oh, okay, we're friends. Okay, yeah, we're hanging out, right? And now you actually can really, I don't want to say pick and choose, but identify things that really, like, wow, this person really meets my energy, and I'm going to explore that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's 10 other people that will be acquaintances, but I'm not necessarily going to put the time and energy, and I'm okay with that. I think that's exciting.
So there was a part of me at some point, I was bringing these assumptions along with me of what they were going to, I know, but we're honest on this little episodes we do. We bring this assumption of what are they going to think of me, and to,
yeah.
But the good thing is I understand that feeling. So that's the growth in me, that I'm assuming they're going to be like, oh, who does she think she's going to run 50 miles in 30 hours? Or, well, how come she doesn't do this or this? I'm having a conversation in my head that's never happened. Never.
Oh, and also because it's happy hour, so now there's a whole alcohol thing that you come in and you're like, oh, I enjoy happy hour, just not with alcohol.
Right. Which is like, well, no, that would be, I could see if I came in but I bring my own non-alcoholic stuff anywhere. If we go to someone's house, I'll bring non-alcoholic wine.
Right.
I just do that. So I'm not like out of the social circle. And I don't do it just to fit in. I do it because I still like to have wine. I just don't like the effects of alcohol on my body.
Right.
And so I still do it. But I think I brought it up because it is a true feeling. As much as and we've all talked about this in many of our episodes, that you don't always outgrow who you are. You're just more understanding of how to work through things. And so I wanted to put it out there about this friendship, and wonder if from you guys' reactions, I don't think you have these same feelings.
No, I just think it's funny that we're talking about stuff that we've all talked about we've got it in our head, we know we've got it under control, and then something comes up and we go, oh, we gotta work through this again, or continue to work through. And I think it's amazing that you're aware of it. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Because I mean, and that's the thing. I think it's our expectations of ourselves that we shouldn't feel that way.
Yeah.
We should just be able to embrace the situation without fear of rejection or whatever. We have to remember that we are literally wired this way. This is our brain's way of going, you need to be safe under all costs. You're walking into some community. You don't know if you're going to be accepted or rejected. This is a scary thing to do. Don't do it. Right? So that's the first thing our brains are going to offer us. Don't do it. This is like, so you got to fight through all of that. And I don't care how old you are. We have to fight through all of that because we are literally, it's in our DNA to be that way. And now all of a sudden we're like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. These are just like people. They're probably friendly. I'm going to be okay. And if I'm not okay, I know what to do. I can leave. I can just get up and go.
Right.
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
But you're right, though. It's that work that we have to do on a constant basis to go, hey, it's all right, but that's the self-awareness piece, which is awesome because at our age, we've got a whole heck of a lot of self-awareness for that whole thing, right? And also the ability to go, you know what, my energy's mine. And I'm okay with this energy. I don't have to match my energy to all of you people in the room in order for me to form friendships or in order for me to feel accepted.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny. It's the first place it went, though, right?
Yeah.
First place, even though you're aware of all of this, the first place you went was
because I'm the newbie.
Yeah, rejection.
I am the newbie.
Absolutely. And we are afraid that we are going to be judged.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to judge me. They're going to think, okay, what, like you said, who does she think she is running 50 miles? It's like,
Yeah.
And they're probably all going to go, you're doing what? That's amazing. Oh my God, you're kidding me.
It was so funny because when I walked over to the woman, I said, hi, I'm Michelle. And she's like, so how's your training going? I was like, good. Like, she took me off guard. Oh, Peter told us all about it. So how's it going? And I'm like, oh, so I'm having this thought process about something that's like not true.
Right.
Have a conversation with ourselves. And there's something I keep reminding myself, and there was something I read, and I will constantly repeat this. The brain has no function. The brain has no thought. The mind tells the brain the thought. The brain tells the body. The body tells you how to show up.
Mm.
So our brain doesn't understand fear. It just knows there's fear. It's in a protection mode, has no clue whether you're being hit by a car or walking into a room of people you don't know, in a way. And so it's your mind that says, yeah, you're afraid, but you're going to do this. You got this. You understand it. Do one thing. That was my one thing. I had a conversation with that one lady. I didn't walk into the happy hour not knowing a soul. I knew that one person, and what she said was, so how's training going? I was like caught me completely off guard, So it was having my mind understand, like, Michelle, you've been through this. They're not judging you. You don't even know if you're gonna like them. Don't worry about if they like you. You might
How often do we do that whole thing of having that movie go through our head where we are watching something that is coming up, an event that's going to happen, and we watch what's going to happen right through to the very end, and we haven't gotten up off from our seat yet?
No,
but we know what's going to happen. Oh, we've got this all planned out. We've got all the catastrophes. We got to figure out what do we do when this happens and this happens and this happens and this happens. And not that there's anything wrong with pre-planning. What would I do if that happened? How would I handle that? What emotion am I going to be having to deal with here? Right? There's nothing.
right.
Not to say there's anything wrong with that. If it's done in that vein of, this is how I'm going to handle things.
Right.
If
this situation,
sideways. Yeah. Not like, this is going to go sideways. I'm not going. I'm not doing it. I'm out.
Yeah.
Right. But it happens to us all the time. We're constantly doing that to ourselves.
Which is really unfair, because at our age, there are people, like, of course, this happens at any age, but divorce, people dying, and you start recreating your life from, like, now who got the friends out of the divorce, things like that. And that now you're needing to put yourself out of your comfort zone, and you're needing to go and create a community for yourself. And I think that a lot of women find that very hard, and so they tend not to.
Right. But that's what's so important, is the fact that there are all sorts of ways that we could inject ourselves into our community through things like book clubs, or going swimming, or doing volunteering. Like, there's so many different ways that we can put ourselves out there to meet new people, but we have to do it. We actually have to take the steps to do it. But it's so much easier just to sit at home, is it not?
Oh, it is.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Well, and it's a thing that, here I am, I'm afraid of what are they going to think of me? I need to turn it around more and remind myself what I think of myself.
Yeah.
And what I have to offer, not these women, what I have to offer anybody. And so what I might have in common with one person, I might not have in common with another person. We don't have to have commonality in every single thing of our makeup with every person to have a friendship with them.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that when I look at the fear of being judged, how am I judging myself? What am I forgetting about that I can offer also to other people? And if I'm judging myself, I'm inviting judgment in.
And also to ask, why are you judging yourself? Like, what's that about? Like, what are you worried about? What is it that's going on to,
Yeah.
journal? I know you love journaling, but that would be a really good question to dig into. What exactly am I afraid of? What is the judgment that I fear, and where does that come from?
And also why you feel right off the bat how you're going to serve them. How about you just going to find out some stories? There's 10 new stories. I might find out information that will benefit me. I might not. I might find something super interesting. I might find certain people boring, but there's all these new stories that I've never heard. And I don't even know why I have to go in with intention of serving. Why can't I just go, what's your story? And go from there. So that is interesting, that the judgment, and then how can I benefit them? What can I bring to the table? It's like,
maybe it's not so much what can be brought to the table. Maybe it's just understanding who I am from as a person, like understand my own story. Like sometimes I think we talk about this a little bit, like people are afraid to get in the room with other women or other people that might be more accomplished than them or things like that. And I think what it's kind of forcing me to do is, if someone was to ask me what my story is, like, oh, so who is Michelle? What would I tell them? Like, we've talked about this before in past episodes about, we always identify with what we do, who we were as a job or whatever. And I think Tracy you told us that you had a lawyer friend when he was always asked, what do you do for a living? He tells you about, I think it was sailing or something, whatever.
Oh yeah,
is.
Tells you all the activities he does.
So that's where I think Tracy G, for myself, that I am, I never knew what my story was because I was such a people pleaser. And even though I'm not that people pleaser now, if you were to tell me or ask me to maybe articulate myself, I still struggle with that a little bit. So I can already see my journal prompt for tonight.
But I just want other women to understand that you don't have to be bringing something to the table. No. Sometimes you just show up, and even listening to stories is good enough, because you know what? This community has told the same stories over and over. Now we've got someone new to tell. So that in itself is giving other people something. I don't know. I just think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be doing something.
You're releasing the pressure. You're releasing the pressure from me.
And the other thing too is that people love to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
So you asking somebody, tell me about yourself. Have you always been here in Florida? Whatever. All of a sudden, they'll be telling you everything in, the next hour, and you'll be like, wow, this is like fascinating. Totally fascinating.
Yeah. So then,
or not.
Well,
or how do I escape this conversation?
No, what was it? We had that episode where you would do things what was that? Where you would, oh my goodness, you would do things in your head when you were talking to people that you just, toxic people. I'll look it up. I'll put it in here.
Yeah. But, and then the other panic thing was, well, if I go to their house, then I'm in the circle, and then I got to plan a luncheon. Like, my head went down a rabbit hole so freaking fast. Then I was like, oh, stop it, Michelle. Just stop. Like, I just walked away from that, because that was like, I was going into a different whole rabbit hole. But I love this conversation because you two have given me some great let it goes and journal prompts. Let it go.
Which is awesome, but I also think we should do a follow-up, because I do feel there is women that struggle making relationships and friendships at this age, and that if we can support or guide or give any information, and here you're experiencing it, so it's not like we're just talking, like you're actually experiencing it and how you can go out there.
Yeah.
So that's an excellent thing viewer, if you see this and have trouble with this or have a question about it, please make sure you put it down in the comments, because we really would love to hear from you. And if you know somebody else who's doing this and is having the same type of struggles, share this episode with them and say, hey, listen to what these 3 women are, going through. And we would love to hear from them also. So ladies, anything else on this topic before I close it?
I was just going to say, or if they've gone through it and have advice
Yes.
to
Yeah.
help, kind of help you.
Yes, I love that. I love that. But again, make sure you share it, make sure you subscribe, and comment below. Until next time, talk to you later.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.